يعني كل حد يعني كل شويه حد
ابونا if you don't
Would you like
mind
me to go in
يعني
Arabic or English?
if you don't mind يعني هو if it's
يعني لو كله فاهم عربي نحاول نتكلم عربي شوية، في حاجات طبعا مش عارف نترجمها.
في حد معانا ابونا مش هيبقى فاهم عربي.
Okay, so let us go in English.
Okay. He just joined right now.
Sure. Okay. Absolve me, Abuna.
الحين فاهمك يا ابونا، اتفضل يا ابونا.
Thank you very much. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. You know, the topic I received from you guys to speak about called the relationship scale. I would like you to interact with me for a few minutes. Just make your microphone ready if you'd like to share any answer. We're going to do some very, very simple questions. Very simple questions. In this question, there is no right and wrong. You can say whatever you like to say as a suggestion, as a way of we are thinking together, we are brainstorming. So here you can see a picture of a scale. So I wish you will give yourself a chance for like maybe a few seconds to figure for yourself a scale, as if you are measuring. If I'm asking you a question, measure your answer on the scale or use a scale you imagine in your mind to help yourself to find an answer for the question. So the first question is, how do you know if a relationship is healthy? What kind of scale do you use to measure if a relationship is healthy? And by the way, we are here not speaking only about marital relationship or a relationship between a wife and a husband, a girlfriend and boyfriend, the fiancés. We are speaking about relationship in general. So who would like to share any answer? How do you know? How do you measure? How do you observe if a relationship is healthy? Any suggestions? If you, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like when we accept each other's disadvantages and dealing with it, we know that there is something wrong with my partner, and I'm dealing with it and accepting it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. So somebody else would like to suggest any other answer? I'm going to ask Father Abraham to volunteer. If any question we wouldn't find an answer for, Abuna will have a dialogue with me.
It's a pleasure, Abuna. It's a pleasure. Guys, speak up, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for the answer that I will know if a relationship is healthy, if there is a high level of acceptance. Despite of some personal weakness or some personal differences or something like that. How do you know if a relationship will last? What kind of measure do you use?
I can say, Abuna.
Go ahead, Father.
Yeah, very few arguments.
Go ahead, Abuna, if you have any.
Abuna, yeah. So whenever there are very few arguments, okay? So
Yes,
the point is that they are not arguing too much.
When they are arguing less, I can predict that the relationship will last.
Yeah.
Any other answers, guys?
Abuna, I think like it cannot be predicted because I saw many love stories that ended in a bad way. So I feel like it's not predicted. It's how the both will do in the life or the challenges they will face.
Yeah. So you are saying it's very, very difficult to predict, right? That's what you are saying.
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes as a game changes, people start with very, very strong love story and they love each other. And I have a very, very lovely topic about the experience or love as a human experience. I wish one day we'll speak about that. It's very, very important because people usually misunderstand and mess up what is love exactly. So you are saying it's very difficult to predict because some people started with a very powerful love story and they ended up by separation or divorce. How do you know if a relationship is growing into better?
If I'm still fighting for it.
Good. If I am still fighting for it. Any other suggestions?
Yes, Abuna. I feel like when I see the couple is happier in when they are facing something or tough situation, and I see both of them are calming each other, or they are dealing with the problem they are facing in a good way.
I see. So when there is success in conflict resolution, this is a very good sign. When there is mutual support despite of going through hard time, that what you are saying? Did I understand you correct?
Yes, Abuna. Yes, right.
Okay, thank you very much. How do you know if a relationship is declining?
Abuna, there's a message say no for the previous question. Abuna, there's a message that's saying that when we forgive each other.
So that this is answer for question number 3.
From 3, Abuna.
Great. Yes, this is a very, very good answer. When we forgive each other, we know that the relationship is growing into better. When we have, like, you know, the scientists who studied the relationship between couples said there is no perfect individual, no perfect human, no perfect partner. Whatever will help two partners to stay together is that they have high tolerance to the weakness of one another. Same like the meaning of forgiveness, same like the meaning of success in conflict resolution, solving the problems. Okay, how do you know if a relationship is declining but treatable? Or to make my question correct, how do you know that a relationship is declining and it is either treatable or untreatable? How can you tell?
If they can still solve their problems and like make it work, this is a difficult problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other suggestions, guys? Okay, the last question is, how do you know if a relationship is dying or already dead? You know, this question, by the way, is extremely difficult to answer because when we lose hope in a relationship, it's something very, very, very big. And it needs like us to be very careful in answering or saying this relationship is dying or already dead. Think about it if you don't have an answer. To answer those questions in a scientific way is our meeting of today. To answer those questions in a scientific way, built on research, is our meeting of today. Okay? Okay, guys? Okay. So the scientists whom studying the relationships did a study lasted for maybe 30 years, maybe more, in many, many couples. And those scientists used to reserve a resort. They have like a special place, a resort, and they invited people who would like to come to a vacation for free while they are connected to monitors and microphones and cameras in their sleep place or living place to be under study for a research. And they studied hard for many, many years, tons of couples, to aiming to create a scale, a measure. عايزين يعملوا مسطرة يقيسوا بيها. They want to create a scale. If they're going to use this scale, they will be able to measure if the relationship is living, is average, is improving and growing into better, is declining, is declining but treatable, is declining but untreatable and going into failure. Does that make sense for you guys? Just when you nod your head, I see it and I know that you hear me. Okay, that makes sense for you.
Guys,
So
if
they
it's
came.
possible, yeah, guys, if it's possible, any of you that if you can open your cameras, okay, please. So to make it easy on Abuna and to make it easy on ourselves, yani, okay?
You know, I don't know why on my screen I don't see. I see like 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras only, which is fine. Okay. So those scientists studied the relationship in depth, and they collected huge amount of data from the relationship and the interaction and the behavior of many, many, many couples. And they came with 2 groups of behaviors. The first group they called is what is constructive. Constructive means what will build the relationship more, will make the relationship surviving and good and better and healthy and living. And they also came with a group of the destructive behaviors. And they worked very hard to summarize, to compress the very big number of destructive behaviors and very big number of constructive behavior and destructive behavior into 2 summarized groups of behaviors. And they created this scale, this measure, mastara. If you're going to look at the middle, when I say normal, they say in any relationship, if the ratio between the destructive and the constructive 1 to 5, يعني whenever the couple are interacting in a destructive way 1 time, they have to act or interact in a constructive way 5 times against the 1 time. So 1 time destructive should be met by 5 times constructive for the relationship just to survive, to be average, to be normal. I respect this study much because they put huge effort for many, many, many years using scientific data, and just we are having as a summary in very short time. Whenever the number of constructive behavior will increase above 5, they will start to get into something called the enriched relationship. The relationship became enriched, became very rich, became happier, became more healthy, became elevated, became a special relationship, in fact. On the other hand, they said if the ratio started to decline, that the constructive action started to decline. So it became maybe 1 to 4, 1 constructive to 4, 1 destructive to 4 constructive, 1 bad to 4 good. That is still treatable. 1 to 3 is still treatable. 1 to 2 is not good, but it's still treatable. 1 to 1, on the edge, but still somebody might save it. According to the study, if the ratio came to 1 to 0.8, here is the split, the divorce, and the failure of the relationship. Okay, I believe you are very excited to know what is constructive and what is destructive, correct? Are you? Are you? Okay, so here it is. The ratio between what is destructive and what is constructive. So every time we criticize is destruction. Every time we admire, you know, the word admire means to emphasize a very special value in your partner you love and you respect and you admire, and to emphasize it, to say what I truly love about you is, and to say. Criticism. What I really don't like about you is, and you say. Okay. I understand that our talk here will take us into the, I believe now in your mind, some questions started to come up. Do you mean that we cannot tell each other what we don't like about one another, what we disagree about, any sort of correction, or any sort of honesty? Now we can. We're going to speak about that in the coming slide. Okay? But now, whenever we throw criticism on our partner, it's destructive. Whenever we offer our partner any sort of admiration, what I truly like about your way of thinking, that it's very creative. Why I truly love about your emotions, what I truly love about how do you handle people, how do you speak to people, how do you manage your work, how do you play with the kids, how do you smile, whatever, any sort of admiration. So when we hurt, and the hurt might come either as verbal, it might come as emotional, it might come sometimes as physical, it might come as a comparison, it might come as a humiliation, any sort of humiliation. It might come in a form of any sort of mistreatment. So whenever we hurt, the feeling of the other is destructive. Instead, whenever we have compassion, same like you were saying, guys, in your answers, that whenever we forgive, whenever we accept the differences, whenever we have high tolerance for the weakness of the other partner, that means that we have compassion. We want to point out the weakness or the defect, emphasize it, and mistreat the another either verbally, emotionally, or whatever, in whatever way it might come out. There is something, a behavior called defensiveness. And the defensiveness is opposite to claiming responsibility. Claiming responsibility means somebody is responsible for his actions. Example, a partner, a husband or a wife, usually for the last whole week was coming late from work, 1 or 2 hours. So he is missing dinner time, he is missing his time with the children, with the kids at home. The other partners feel really exhausted and tired because he is doing everything by himself. And he misses his partner because they have no time to talk and to wrap up the day and speak about their days or so. So the partner at home will say, don't you know that you are always late, and because of that, you are impacting the whole family in whatever way. The late partner might start to act defensive by saying, I'm working hard for you, I'm doing all my best to make living for you guys. Start with a higher loud voice, start to be maybe angry, you are not considerate, you don't understand what is going at work. That we call defensiveness. If the partner would like to take responsibility, may say, yes, I agree that I am late for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days, and I am responsible for myself being late, and I know that that is impacting the family in a negative way. I don't spend time with you guys now for almost the whole week. I did not take dinner with you. I don't see the kids enough. I left you alone at home. I take responsibility for that. I did that. I am sorry for that. What is also true, there are reasons for that if your heart will be open to me and allow me to express why that is happening. So in the relationship, when you replace defensiveness by claiming responsibility, it makes a huge difference. It converts what is destructive into constructive. The last point is respect versus disrespect. Whenever we catch ourselves disrespecting our partner, that is destructive in any way, like humiliating, calling names, making fun of in a harsh way, embarrassing, especially in public, speaking down, whatever, any sort of disrespect is destructive. Respect is constructive. Respect is a very, very important cornerstone in any relationship, any relationship. I myself, I believe that even respect is more needed, more important than love. Or I can say in different words, that if there is love between two partners, this love will be guarded by respect. Respect is the guard of any healthy relationship. Do you hear me well, guys? You can just nod your head. You hear me well? Everything is clear, okay. The last point we call, or those scientists call, the stonewalling. Stonewalling means opposite to openness. Stonewalling means if somebody will give the other party something we call the silent treatment. Did you hear about the silent treatment?
Yeah, nothing.
Did you hear this term before? Huh? Silent treatment means when I'm not happy with you for any reason, I give you the hard shoulder. I don't talk to you. It might take hour, 2, 3, night, day, 2, 3, week. I build a stone wall between the partner will build a stone wall. And this is something really different from something we call in relationships the time out. Time out means when we feel that we are angry or we lost our calmness or the conversation went out of track for any reason. We excuse ourselves by saying, let us take some time out. The time out, to be respectful, must be reasonable and defined. Must be reasonable and defined. Reasonable, somebody will, will say to his partner, let me take time out for a year. That is stonewalling because it's very long. Somebody might say, let me take time out, and I don't know for how long. That is stonewalling. But somebody will say, it's scientifically, it's well known that the average human requires between 20 to 30 minutes to calm down. Between 20 to 30 minutes to calm down. So you can excuse yourself for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. It's highly recommended even through the biblical teaching that لا تغرب الشمس على غيظكم. يعني it's highly recommended if we are in disagreement or not happy with the talk or we became angry for any reason, is to take time out to calm ourselves, to come back again into the conversation, to work on our disagreement without creating the stonewalling. Stonewalling is destructive. Time out is recommended as long as it is reasonable and it is defined. Defined يعني, with the agreement of the two parties. So when the psychologists studied a scale to measure if a relationship is average, is enriched, is healthy, is declining but treatable, is declining but untreatable, They predicted separation and divorce by accuracy more than 90%. And back again to our scale, the scale they created. This is the previous slide again. Here is the normal. Normal means every one destructive action will be met by 5 constructive actions. I disrespected 1, I respected and admired 5. That will make the relationship just normal. Just a normal relationship, average. If the construction increased more than 5 to be 6 or more, that will take the relationship into a higher level, very highly civil level of enriched relationship. So if the constructive actions decreased less than 5 to be 1 to 4, 1 to 3, 1 to 2, it's not a happy relationship, but it is treatable. Until the relationship will come to a ratio of 1 to 0.8. Here they predicted separation and divorce, and their accuracy was over 90%. So let me now shift with you. Do you see the slide? Do you see the slide? Is there anybody hungry here? A nice sandwich. So this story speaks about something called the sandwich feedback. The sandwich feedback is a healthy alternative for criticism. It is a very healthy way of speaking about the disagreements. So the story is about, you see the other picture, a lady. A lady in a restaurant. So this lady had a very long history with the restaurant because she was a very loyal customer, going to the restaurant maybe almost on daily basis to eat her dinner there. She loved the place, she loved the people, she loved the food. And one day she went and the food was mixed with some unclean stuff or trash or something like that, or metal. Something was very, very wrong. And she got unhappy, upset. She became, instead of being totally loyal to the place and happy with the place and love the place and love the people there, she became unhappy, angry, maybe angry, frustrated, unhappy. And she wanted to express her unhappiness, her disagreement, her anger. She wanted to express that. I would love to ask you a question, and if somebody, please, هو أبونا مشي ولا إيه؟ أبونا left? I don't see his picture anymore.
I'm here, Abuna. I'm here.
اوعى تسيبني وتمشي يا
Abuna,
أبونا.
لا, I'm here.
So the first question for you guys I would like to ask, how about if the lady will take her frustration, her disagreement, her anger, her dissatisfaction, and will take her phone from on the table and leave, pay the money and leave? How do you see this reaction?
No one at the
I'd
restaurant.
like you to feel her feelings.
Yeah, but no one would know what she complained about or what she wants. Like she wouldn't benefit even the restaurant by leaving. It's yeah.
That's great. She wouldn't benefit the restaurant. Nobody will know why she left. What else? I would like you to think more about if she left without saying anything.
She will feel bad the rest of the day, and like she was thinking, like, should I tell them what happened before leaving? Like they will just throw away the food without knowing what's. She will keep
Great.
thinking about
Absolutely.
Twice,
What else? Thank you
wouldn't
very
go to
much,
the
guys.
restaurant again. Like she might take this decision and she wouldn't go there again.
She wouldn't go there again. So if she felt the next day that she is hungry and she misses the place, and there is a unresolved conflict with the place because she left without a resolution. She left without speaking up the disagreement. So sometimes in our relationships, when we have disagreement, and this disagreement is painful or unfair or make us unhappy or make our life like we feel that the other partner is not acting responsible enough or is acting careless or acting hurtful or whatever, if we choose not to speak about it, as we say, we throw it under the rug. The accumulation of this hurt and disagreement is one of the most harmful germs which might eat any relationship. So how about if she decided to speak about it? You know, guys, to make the short story for you, because just for the sake of time, she has two options. The first option to speak about it is to, she invited the manager, as you are seeing in the picture. And she had a choice and a right to say, I am very angry and very disappointed. I am totally dissatisfied. You are careless people. You don't know what you are doing. You should be out of business. That shouldn't happen for a loyal customer like me. I'm gonna go and report you to the public health department, or I'm gonna call the police right now. This is one approach. This approach we call criticism. And this approach is destructive. Because if she's gonna use her frustration in this way, she is destroying the relationship with the place. She's gonna call the police, she's gonna report to the place, she is angry with the manager, she's not satisfied, he does not know how to please her. It's like a no outlet in the relationship. So when we criticize, sometimes we give each other the no outlet in the relationship. And that again is another sort of destruction. So this wise lady, used another approach, which we call the sandwich feedback. She was not eating a sandwich. The feedback style called the sandwich feedback. If you're gonna look at the sandwich, you will find the three layers. Layer number one is bread. Layer number two is the meat and the cheese. Layer number three is the other layer of the bread. So it's mainly like three layers. So this wise lady invited the manager and she gave him her feedback in three layers. The first layer we call valuing or validation. She said, listen, I have a very long history with this place. I love this place. The best food ever I ate was in this place. Every day I come here for dinner. This is one of the best hours of my day. And I have been here as a loyal client. You know me by name, and I know you guys. This is my place. It's like my second home. What is also true, she is done with the first layer of the sandwich. What is also true, here is the meat and the cheese. What is also true, when I came today and I find my plate, food mixed with metal, that is totally careless. That does not match with the value of the place I love. That is totally unacceptable. That should put you under responsibility. That might close your place, might ruin your business. She is finished by layer two. Layer three, she is giving the manager an avenue to proceed. She is giving him an outlet. Now, I would like you to show me your actions to correct this disaster, because I would love to stay loving this place. I would love to stay coming to this place. I would love to stay considering this place always my second home. When you compare between criticism and sandwich feedback, what kind of differences are you seeing? If no answer, Abuna will volunteer.
Guys, wake up, guys. What's going on?
I think the first approach, the person who's hearing what she was saying, like the destructive one, will get more defensive.
Yeah.
Or like, I think it wouldn't, it would impact him personally, and then reactions that wouldn't, or answers or replies that wouldn't help the subject would be brought up. That's what I think.
Yeah. Just for the sake, thank you very, very much. That's great. For the sake of the time, because if we are in a conference or convention or long time, we might explore more on this kind of stuff, but for the sake of the time, my main observation is you see in the criticism, the truth in the criticism is the same exact truth in the feedback. Did that make sense for you guys? She spoke her truth. She never hid anything. She said, I'm not happy, I'm not pleased, I'm disappointed, I'm not satisfied. What is going on is careless. Shouldn't happen for me. Your business should be closed. Somebody might report you to the public health department. She said all her truth. The main difference is the validation and the outlet containing the criticism or the truth allowed the feedback to be constructive. If that makes sense for you guys. So at home, that will take us to my last slide, the final one. I intentionally made it like very, very short for you guys, not to take very long time.
Abuna, if you don't mind, sorry for the interference, but I just have one question related to the criticism. May I ask now? Or?
Yes, yeah, may I ask, Father? Go ahead.
Abuna, what about if the person is not able to make control on himself? So he rushes to the criticism without just thinking.
Yeah, that will be destructive, and he must redeem it with another 5 constructive actions.
Excellent.
To keep the relationship average and surviving.
So Abuna, we can say that in advance, each one of us should be preparing himself for conditions.
Yeah, that's why, Father, in counseling, in psychotherapy, in couple therapy, we spend like a long enough time with couples to give them training on how to give feedback in this way. And this training also is given to managers and COOs and people who are leaders. And it's not only in the marital relationships, how to give your criticism sandwiched in validation and proceeding. So that it will be tasty like a sandwich. Tasty. Can be eaten, can be taken. It's a sandwich, can be eaten, can be taken. And it will be constructive. What is really miraculous about the sandwich feedback is it does not change the truth.
Yeah.
You are speaking your heart. You are honest. You are saying your truth. You are expressing yourself. You are not hiding. What is also true, you are giving the other party validation and then truth and then how to proceed if you'd like the relationship to continue and to be constructive.
Thank you, Moon.
You're welcome, Father. So my last slide is some more details about the sandwich, about the sandwich feedback. is I created a very simple comparison between criticism, like dry criticism, not sandwich criticism, and the sandwich feedback. So before we go through the comparison, is there a need to erase differences between the partners to be in harmony? We should be like identical. We should erase any differences. Should we be perfect? Should we not show any weakness or disagreement or argument? We started by saying if there is no argument. Argument, if healthy in the sandwich feedback way, might be healthy. Maybe Abuna meant like too much argument, like we are living for argument. Argument is our career. We do it day and night, morning and before each meal and after each meal and before bedtime. That is totally unhealthy. However, my question again, should we erase the disagreement and the differences between people to create harmony? The answer is no. The answer is no. God never created two people identical. No two people are identical at all. Every human being is unique in himself. انتوا اللي لابسين لابس اصفر ومخطط دول، انتوا بتضحكوا على يعني بتشاركوا معايا في الكلام ولا بتحكوا حكايه تانية؟
This is إيهاب and شيرين يا بونا.
إيهاب وشيرين معانا ولا I am curious، انتوا بتقولوا ايه؟
إيهاب and شيرين, are you here guys?
They are practicing the argument, the sandwich argument.
شيرين إيهاب.
لا مش عايزينكم تمشوا، مشوا لغوا الصورة. مش عندي الصورة يعني.
شيرين and إيهاب, are you here?
Yes, we're here, Abuna.
Yes, Abuna.
It seems that Abuna chose you guys, okay?
What were you saying, guys?
I've been looking down the list, Abuna.
Okay يا حبيبي.
We've been we see who's doing what يعني, بس in a constructive way.
بلاش
Okay عسل. So in brief comparison between the very dry, destructive, unhealthy, maybe disrespectful, maybe unpolite criticism, hurtful criticism, and the feedback, both might carry the same exact truth. This is my point. You are not prohibited from speaking your heart, from standing for your truth. What I am asking is to make it in a constructive way, in a healthy way. So criticism, it reflects that if we are criticizing one another, we are either close-minded or we are enhancing more and more close-mindedness. While in feedback, we are open. The sandwich feedback, we are open. Our hearts are open. We are sending and receiving. We are happy with it. We understand each other. We are honest. We are truthful. So there is openness. So in the unhealthy criticism, usually you tell the other person you are the problem. While in feedback, you tell the other person that there is a problem. And there is a huge difference. When we say انت عمال تشاور وتضحكها وتحكي لها حكايات، يا اخي انت فرفوش قوي على فكره.
I'm sorry أبونا معلش.
انا مبسوط منك.
No, I'm sorry معلش، احنا بس بن going down the list.
يا عم تخليك معايا فوق. خليك معايا فوق وهننزل سوا.
طب ماشي.
ماشي يا معلم.
ماشي.
طيب. So when you tell somebody, you give somebody like very dry, disrespectful criticism, you give him an impression that you are the problem. Versus when you give the feedback in a healthy way, you say there is in between a problem and we let us cooperate to work on it to solve it. One of the psychologists said if the problem is like this cup, for example, and you are giving criticism, you open the mouth of the other party and you insert the cup into his tummy. So you are the problem. While in reality, majority of our stuff is not because one of us is the problem, is because we are together facing a problem. When you give the healthy feedback, you are inviting the other party to cooperate with you to figure out a solution for a problem you have in between. None of you is a problem. Rather, we have a problem in between. Usually in the criticism, you use the you statement. And if somebody is from like Eastern origin, the Egyptian always likes to use the finger. Like this. You. You did this, you hurt me. When you said that, you. While in the feedback, it's a very simple and very easy to convert the you statement into I statement. I feel unhappy. Instead of you made me unhappy, you made me angry. I feel angry. I feel frustrated. I own the feeling. It's my feeling. Maybe it is because of the situation, not because of you. So the difference between the I statement and the you statement. The difference between defensiveness and the responsibility, we spoke about that enough. The difference between assumptions and empathy. Empathy is mutual understanding. The brief meaning of empathy is we have understanding. We can stand in the shoes of one another. This is the meaning of empathy. Instead of throwing assumptions on people. So if we use criticism.
I'm very sorry, but can you just clarify this point, please? If you don't mind, just give us an example on empathy and assumption.
Yeah, further empathy, I allow the other party to express himself and I double check they understood his message. If somebody came from outside, like unhappy for some reason, I don't know. The assumption will be, you are unhappy with me. When you saw me, you gave me a very ugly face. You made the house unhappy. We were happy before you came. All those sort of stuff are lacking empathy and they are throwing assumptions on the other party. If somebody has empathy, might say, you came from outside and you are not happy. I am wondering what happened for you outside. I'm curious to know. And if he said, I face this problem, I will have some compassion for him and say, I'm sorry that you feel this way. Let us start drink some juice or have water or shower and change your clothes. We're going to have some light meal and speak about it. Compassion means mutual understanding, empathy, instead of throwing assumptions on people. Usually criticisms is a tool to throw assumptions in people. Rather, feedback, I am observing that you are unhappy. Can you tell me what happened? This is a feedback. You always come with a great face. What happened today? You look unhappy. Let me know what happened. Here is the sandwich. Validation, truth, and how to proceed. In 3 seconds.
Thank you, Abuna.
You're welcome. And then when we repeat the criticism, often seem like Abuna told us, the argument, when we repeat the criticism all the time, that make the relationship superficial because it pushes people away from our life. It make people take a distance and make people close their heart. It does not help people to open their heart, so that it take the relationship more and more into a superficial relationship. Rather, when you use feedback in a healthy way, it creates a closeness because it's an invitation for more understanding. It's an invitation for a cooperation on finding a solution. It has validation, truth, and how to proceed, the outlet. How to proceed means let us cooperate to find a solution. You are valuable for me. I'm not happy with your action or your behavior. What is also true, you are very valuable, and I would love us to improve and to grow in the relationship. So it creates closeness. Same like the customer in the restaurant, if she left without speaking, she is giving the stonewalling. She is creating a crack in the relationship between her and the place she loves. But when she opened her heart and she spoke her feedback in a healthy way, she created an invitation. Maybe in the future, her relationship will be stronger with the restaurant. Maybe the people will value her more because she gave validation, truth, and how to proceed. How to proceed means let us cooperate to work on our disagreement, to find together a solution. The last thing, that if criticism will be a lifestyle, that is one of the most harmful behavior, may destroy any relationship. That's why it may end with split or divorce. While the alternative is easy, if we're gonna speak the same exact truth in the form of validation, truth, and how to proceed, that will, we are not in need to erase any disagreement or to hide the disagreement or to put our problems under the rug. We should face our problems. I finished my talk with you with a very short story. It's a real story about a pastor used to give people premarital counseling before the wedding for enough number of sessions. And the first questions he used to ask the couple, how many times you get into conflict? You know, sometimes when the people are new in the relationships, they are young and new. The young people and the new people, I mean by new, like maybe first one or second year in the relationship. When people are young and new, usually they romanticize, idealize the relationship, and they create a delusional relationship. It's not real. It's a delusional. So if they said, no, we love each other to the sky, we never being in conflict, you will say, you will fail. You will fail because you are not real. So to have this agreement, to know that we are different, and we have different way of thinking, different personality, different taste in life, different things we like. This is very, very healthy. The idea is not to erase the differences, not to erase the disagreement, but how to manage the disagreement in a healthy way using a tool like the empathy or the constructive feedback or the sandwich feedback. In this way, we are deepening the relationship. We are creating a deeper relationship. We are creating closeness. We are creating a more healthy relationship. And glory be to God now and forever. Amen. Thank you very much for listening and for the chance thank you very, very much, Abuna. I enjoyed my time with your lovely group. They are sweet. They are really sweet people. They are cheerful. They are happy.
Well, yeah.
I am so happy to be with you guys.
Yeah, Abuna, they like the sandwich. Next time, Abuna, God willing, okay, when we open the church, you are invited. We're going to invite you on dinner, Abuna.
Absolutely, Father.
You're not going to eat sandwiches, of course.
Dinner, all sandwiches.
Abuna, thank you very much. That was amazing.
My
Actually,
pleasure.
in a very simple way, you were able to just point out a lot of fatal things and a lot of amazing things. God bless your service, Abuna. God bless your service.
It's my pleasure, Father. My pleasure.
We're looking for next time, by the way, and it will be very close, by the way. Okay, يعني prepare yourself. Maybe once a month or something. You're going to join us if you don't mind, يعني.
As often as I can, Father. It will be my pleasure as often as I can.
But then, by the way, they are quiet, yes, but they are, but they seem to be quiet, but they are learning, يعني.
I really enjoyed, Father, the faces I saw on the camera. I didn't see everybody, but how they are cheerful and interactive and lovely and sweet. I enjoyed my time with you guys.
Thank you, Abuna. Thank you very much.
It will be my pleasure to be with you again and again.
That's a blessing, Abuna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're so thankful that Abuna James for Abuna Ya'qub for this wonderful talk. Okay, and I think it's not only that. I mean, we need thanks God that we recorded it. You need to listen to it many times, guys. Okay, not only once but many times. You need to study it. Okay, and maybe God willing, يعني maybe in the future كده بس when the pandemic ends, Abuna will be just by visit, and we can take some trainings related to such topics, يعني.
My pleasure.
Especially the point of the sandwich, يعني. Thank you, Abuna. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Can I excuse myself, Abuna?
تفضل يا Abuna.
Okay. Bye bye, guys. God bless you all.
Thank you. تفضل.
Yeah.